All right, we're back. We have another special guest, and her name is still Elizabeth Angelica. Remind us of your career path again.
I am I have so many titles. I am a shamanic, tantric, love, sex, and relationship mentor.
I think I like the last week's title better.
I'm like, what did I say?
Shamanic, that's like, whoa, slow down.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
It scares people?
Yeah.
It just means that I go into a trance state where I have access to more divine information.
How do you know that it's divine and not from the devil?
Well, when I first started doing this stuff, I learned how to connect with the divine, with angelic forces. And so the devil isn't something I intend to call in. So that doesn't happen.
Okay. So how are you doing today?
I'm feeling a little agitated and snarky. Like, there's some anger in here that I
it's been leaking out.
Look into.
Oh,
that's kind of a good topic.
Let's look into it.
Let's do some therapy.
When did you first notice that you were feeling snarky today?
Well, there was a little anxiety earlier trying to figure out, like, how do I get the things done I need to do? And I needed to send an email to someone saying some uncomfortable things that I've been putting off for a little while. And I'm kind of angry about that situation, and angry that there's that the house and the property where I live is being Airbnb'd. And so there's a whole bunch of strange men living on the property. It just makes me a little uncomfortable.
I thought you liked strange men. Was I wrong?
Familiar men.
Oh,
yeah. And I'm a little exhausted with dating.
Oh, have you been on any dates this past week?
I have been on 3 dates this week.
Whoa, slow. Stop the presses. 3 days. Wait, with 3 different people? 2 people.
2 people. I think
wow.
3. Yeah.
And the first. Oh, so someone got a second date.
Yes. So I was curious, and he's the sort of person that I am calling in. Like, he seems amazing. He's successful. We have a lot of similar understandings of the world and spiritual perspectives.
He hates the patriarchy. In other words.
Yeah, it was funny. We were talking today, and he said the patriarchy in the same sort of way that me and other spiritual people do, as an oppressive force. And that reminded me of our talk last week. But as much as, like,
you think that's what you want?
He's aligned, like, I don't want to kiss him. And I'm like,
yes.
I wish I liked him.
Yes.
And the other guy I enjoy kissing and dancing with, but there's no, like,
but he only got one date.
Connection. Well, no, that was the 3rd time I've been out with that guy.
Oh, okay.
He told me that I need to get to know him, and I should ask him all of my list of questions, and he's pretty sure that I'll fall in love with him if I get to know him.
Note to that guy, never say that sentence again. I'm pretty sure you'll fall in love with me. No, pretty sure she won't.
Also, to go back, I'm just fascinated. Like,
yeah.
You liked him, but you couldn't see yourself kissing him. What is that thing?
Well, I did kiss him, and there was just no, like, magnetic attraction. I didn't want to. I just kind of wanted it to stop.
Wow. See, that's the thing. So, but he was saying the right things, which is like, oh, I don't like the patriarchy. But
let's not talk like that.
But you need, for a man and a woman to be together, we need polarity, right? It's polarity is the attraction.
I don't think someone feeling that the patriarchy is oppressing people as a whole makes him not masculine.
Yeah, well, I think that's
probably where we're going to understand, like, the differences biologically.
You can know you can say you can see a lot about a man who says something like that. First of all, okay, doesn't even know what the patriarchy means. So we're going to assume that he's using it correctly, which is not your version, which was not correct because the definition does not.
That is
That's your made up version.
colloquial
No, we're
understanding
going to use the
of
actual
the
definition, which is
patriarchy.
just it's not toxic masculinity. That's not.
That
the
is what
patriarchy.
we were referring to,
Well, that's not the word you said.
but that's the word he said.
Yes, but he said patriarchy. So we're going to use the definition of patriarchy, which is just a male-run society or a male-run household, right? That's the definition. Toxic is another adjective. You can have a toxic patriarchy or you can have a
And we
healthy
do.
patriarchy. I mean, we have a toxic world for sure. There's aspects of it that are toxic, but I wouldn't say it's all toxic.
Or every aspect can be corrupted,
Yes.
man or woman. So it doesn't matter. So that's how we differentiate. There's the best of an idea and the worst of an idea.
So when you have a man saying that patriarchy is bad, he's basically saying, I want women to lead. And it's either patriarchy or matriarchy. Someone's got to lead. There's no like two drivers, right? We already
He
kind of
was
figured
saying as he evolves, he was having a challenging time knowing how to be a man and finding safety in expressing his truth vulnerably and having emotions.
Okay, I mean, there you go. If you're having trouble being a man, like that's not like that's fair. Like that, yeah, that I can see, especially in today, especially like in this world where we act like the patriarchy is toxic. To me, that's a problem. Just thinking that the patriarchy means toxic masculinity, that's a big problem because it's not accurate. There's toxic versions of it, but if you're a boy and your mom's like the evil man and the patriarch's talk, he's being taught that masculinity is bad. So he's going to naturally want to suppress it because we don't want to be bad. We want to be good. We want to be loved and good. So if we're thinking that our natural masculine just attributes, we want to like break things and climb things and fight and that's natural for a boy. But if we think that's bad, it's gonna be hard to when you go an adult to be a man, right? Expressing your feelings is not masculine, right? A masculine man can express his feelings. That's you know what I mean? It's like that's not like a weakness. Like crying maybe and like talking about your problems all the time. Okay, that's not masculine. But expressing your feelings, how you feel, that's
Yeah, but if you're holding it in and you need to cry because you're a human being and that's how our human body works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no problem with that. But
Yeah.
if you think that if you're taught that being masculine is wrong, you're going to have a problem being yourself because you're a man. And therefore women are not going to be, I think, naturally as magnetically attracted to you, even though they might be mentally, because you're saying the things that they think they want to hear, but their body does not want to hear that because the body wants polarity.
What I
That's my
understand from men is that they feel like it's not safe to, like, it's fine to be rough and tumble, but if they cry or if they have a feeling that isn't in alignment with what their dad thinks is okay when they grow up and they're told they're not allowed to cry and shut up and be a man, that's the issue that they're having. So then they're holding in all of their emotions and it's coming out as anger. And that's why
I think
male-run societies are constantly at war.
Whoa, that was a big leap.
I just want to say this though, too. I think
That's what I believe.
I think as a species, we're trying to live up to ideas, and that's good, and it can be bad. But I think we have to pay attention to what men and women are biologically bound to. And what he was saying before is like, even though men can say the things the modern woman wants to hear, she's still going to respond to masculine certainty and assertiveness, even though she's conflicted because society's saying, hey, he can't. And he's afraid to do it, to be assertive, because I got to come in and tiptoe and do the tulips. And I got to tiptoe through the tulips. Instead of saying, hey, man, come in strong and be assertive, but confident, but not overconfident.
Yeah, you don't want to be overbearing, but it's confident like a man. But okay, so you're saying that
Confident like a woman.
that's great too. Confidence is beautiful. And I'm gonna make a point though, because you're saying you were saying that, if I got you correctly, men have trouble expressing their feelings because a lot of them are raised in households with fathers who told them things like "don't cry" and crying is bad. However, I don't think anybody wants to cry in public, women included. Nobody.
No,
so many times, anytime people cry, they apologize. I'm sorry. Men and women. So it's bigger than just a man thing, right? It's not. It's a
societal,
human thing. Yeah, it's a societal thing. So to say it's just fathers and men, the patriarchy, I don't agree with.
But predominantly, like, as a little girl, your dad is more likely to let you cry than if you were a little boy.
I mean,
Well, I would say there's some truth to it because, I mean, in theory, like when men show too much emotion, we can be destructive. So we're more designed not to to reason through it, and hopefully we have other males that are better, more well-grounded and wise to teach us how to control our anger, express it, and maybe cry in front of your boys
Yeah.
instead of your woman. You know what I mean?
I do think that's important.
Yeah. So it's really, I would say, I don't really cry. When I cry, I love it. It feels great, but I just don't do it very often. But it does feel good.
I think it's very interesting too with the rise of the UFC and this. I think that's a response to just masculinity and kind of this hatred of masculinity and the suppression of it. Like it gives rise to these sports that are very like violent. But what's very interesting to me is at the end, these are the baddest, most masculine men on the planet. They cry all the time. Am I wrong? These guys cry. They talk about the kids. They're crying. They win the fight. They cry. They lose the fight. They cry. All the time, the baddest dudes, and I think it's awesome to showing the world that these guys are not afraid to cry. The baddest guys are not afraid to cry.
Yeah, I love that. It's a good permission.
Yeah,
maybe we're saying there's a place for it to cry, and don't hide and shy from it. Let it out and do it. If it comes naturally, why would you resist it?
But without a doubt, I don't want my son crying all the time. You know what I mean? Really, like. Don't cry all the time.
So what would be the
all the time? Because if you're crying all the time, something is very wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's how you, like you said, it is like a male can create more physical destruction. Like an emotionally unstable male is. Emotionally unstable human is a problem, but a male can create like physical mishaps and can be very dangerous to be around. So society is not really going to like tolerate that too much. So. It is a balance, and there's like it's the whole feminine, masculine. Like I think everybody's a combination, right? Mm-hmm. And I think maybe a masculine woman, a woman who's very masculine naturally, she might want the tip throw to the tulips type of guy. But I don't think you're a masculine woman. Mm-hmm. I think maybe you have some of the thought processes that were given to you by masculine women or like feminist type of women who say like this is what we want. But I don't think that's your natural instinct personally.
I'm uber feminine, and it's what I'm understanding in the last few years since my divorce is that I'm not bringing a man into my life because I have to learn to be sovereign. I have to embrace my own masculinity and learn how to do all these things on my own and be of like the fullness of my being. And then once I've accomplished that, it seems like life will then allow me to have a man so I can finally relax and surrender into my true femininity.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to say this too, because as I see what society's doing, women taking care of themselves. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not putting any judgment. I'm just looking at reality. So if a woman, to take care of yourself is kind of masculine. And when you do it, and you do it well, then you're going to be less prone to follow a man because you can do it yourself. You really can, right? And then that independence kind of moves you away from a man. A man has to go counter to his nature for an independent woman. A woman naturally, she somehow has to make the man feel like she's dependent on him or something. I don't know what to make of it. That's missing. But if she's too independent, it puts her in her masculine, and it's harder for men to be turned on by that long term, commitment wise.
Sure, but if a woman is single, who's going to take care of her? Right. So if a woman is single, if God has decided that I'm going to be single, I still have to take care of myself. I have to find the masculine within myself, or I'm going to end up on the street.
No, I'm not arguing with that, but I'm just saying that's a part of that's why if you do,
there's a balance, right? It's like you don't want to get there's some amount. You do got to take care of yourself, right? Because you're not in the household with your father taking care of you, and you're not in the marriage with your husband taking care of you. So you're in that in between. So you must take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. But then you don't want to. But he's saying like there is like the reality. If you can take care of yourself too well, that might also work like against you if you're like making too much money and you're too much independent. You got the vibrator, the whole thing. It's like, what? Who needs a man? You know what I mean? That's the modern woman, feminist, highly educated.
That is what
I don't need a man, but I want a man. And so that puts a man off because I can easily say I need a woman. But if a woman can't say, I need a man, that's a problem for me. I mean, that just puts me
I need a man. Isn't that sort of desperate? I need you to take care of me. I need your paycheck.
I look at it as I need a woman because I know it's going to help me and be the counter to myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's healthy. I don't look at it as I need her.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I don't say I need a woman. I want a woman. I don't say I need one. I could be like even in the Bible it says it's okay to be single. You can be single. Yeah. Paul was single. Jesus was single. So to say need, I'm with you on that. I don't really like the.
Yeah, I can get the because I used to be that way. And it's like, really, you do need it because you want to kind of chronicle your life with somebody and build something. Yeah,
I want it.
I can live without it.
So then you don't need it. If you can live without it, you need air.
Okay.
You can't live without air. You need air.
It can't be in the category of need.
Yes, need means you're gonna like you need it or else everything else.
Need and want.
Strong desire.
Yes, there you go. I strongly desire.
Yeah.
Okay. It's better. It's better.
Speaking of your strong desire, did you go to church and meet a lady?
Well, it's
or
not
two?
Sunday. It's tomorrow Sunday.
Sunday was there was
Last
Sunday
week.
last Sunday. She's talking about last Sunday.
Yeah. But
Don't you have service on Wednesdays and things like that as well?
Oh, you could, yeah. I mean, I can start prioritizing, but let me go slowly because.
Why did you go to church?
Last week?
Yeah.
Because I didn't prioritize it.
And why did you not prioritize it?
Because I chose to prioritize other things.
What did you choose to prioritize?
You don't need to know that.
Oh, I thought this was a podcast where we talk about things.
Vulnerable.
No.
Oh, okay.
I chose to prioritize, and we talked about it too.
Well, we're talking on a podcast so people can get in the conversation.
So when because me and you define what fear is, and the fear of wasting time is the fear of, am I going to waste time and plus my work is busy right now. It was cold, now it's hot. And so that definitely takes precedence. I've been working every day, so it's just like.
Well, work, we know that doesn't count because you don't go to work till after, like,
but I
10
do
or
put
11.
in 8 hours though.
Yeah, but you can go to church.
I go to bed late and I sleep late.
Let's be realistic, dude. So work does not stop you from going to church.
I prioritize sleeping late than going to church. There it is.
You can use dating apps 24 hours a day.
I know, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm old school. I'd like to meet in person. That rabbit hole is so endless. And I somehow I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't know. I'm not wholly opposed to it.
No, I'm with you. I don't think they really work. They work. I mean, I think it's seemingly easy and actually way more difficult way to meet people. Like to get long-term It's easy to get laid. I think it's harder to get a long-term partner who's truly compatible with you. That's what I think.
Truly compatible. I married someone I met on a dating app.
And how'd that work out for you?
How long did the marriage?
He was a fantastic soulmate. I learned and grew so much.
Okay, awesome.
How long was the relationship?
We were together for 5 years.
All right.
Very, very grateful. And very grateful that it's over.
Oh.
It's tough though, because it seems like, swimming in the possibilities can go on forever. Like when do you got to pick somebody before your time is up and then develop that relationship. I don't know.
Just re-up your subscription.
See, that's the mindset that I think is the grass is greener, or you can always exit anytime you feel like it. And I don't think that's the deep commitment that I'm looking for, because I think it gets easier to have more long-term, low risk, low commitment relationships, instead of having a really committed one.
It's all about your intention.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that fear right now that I won't want to choose someone because there could be somebody else better.
I think
that's just because I know that these actually aren't my people. Like if I chose them, I would not be happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The problem with the dating apps, you're meeting people that are not naturally in your orbit, and there's a reason why they're not in your orbit. You know what I mean? You guys live in the same zone, but you never run into each other because you're not in this, like, they're not supposed to run into each other, you know. But this digital takes us out of that natural,
Yeah.
you know, thousands or hundreds, however long humans have been here. That's how we've been mating, is we're
Mm.
naturally in each other's orbit, and this is like a new way to do it. Not to say that it can't work. Definitely, anything could work.
It
God
has
works in
happened.
any way.
Sophia, our
Yeah.
cousin, got married through an app.
Yeah,
So,
and she treated it like a job, though.
Yeah.
She was like 20 dates a week or something. I don't know how she did it, but when she told me about it, I was like, oh, that's how you do it. She treated it like a job. She just went on relentless until she found the one. So it was hundreds, or it was a lot.
Wow.
It was a lot of dates until she found the one, and then when it worked, and they got
and
married.
I asked her,
together.
it's like, what made him the one? And she goes, I cared about what he thought of me.
Mm.
And that was the difference. I said, what was the one thing that made you pick him? You know, but I think the disease of the mind could be swimming in the possibilities, because there's always somewhere I can
There's
go.
always somebody new.
Yeah.
There's always
And
somebody
I think that keeps you from actually, that's why I say I think I'm only going to meet her in church, because we have to have a lot of the basics in alignment. So I'm, you know, and if I, you know, anywhere else, it's a crapshoot, you know, and time is ticking.
I've heard that before dating apps, the grocery store was the best place to meet someone. That was where most people met somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the teacher of the class I was taking, he was like, so the next time you're at the grocery store, you see someone attractive, just accidentally bump them with your cart.
That's the most awkward place. When I was single and you go to the grocery store and you like that like, how do you bridge that gap to ask someone out? That's like the worst place to me. Like,
I don't know.
dude, I'm
What are
shopping.
you making for dinner there? What you got?
Yeah, I was like, no way. I would not know how to like make that leap from grocery store, like, you know, societal rules to asking on a date. It's like, whoa, bro, you're weird. Get out of here. We want to talk about something. So I think there is some balance of, it's not being happy, like being whole. Like, I think it's important to not need actually a partner, because if you need them to be happy, they can't make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the impossible task. You're giving someone an impossible task, and they will make you happy for a while, and then when your sadness comes back, because it's only a temporary phase that they can hide you from your pain, then what's likely going to happen is you're going to blame them now for your pain, because they were happy, now you're sad again, and you blame them, and that's trouble. Or you're only happy when you're with them, and then that's codependence, and then you're a dead weight into the relationship. So I think you need to be joyous on your own. You can still have the longing for a partner, right? That's natural, but that's cool. Like, I think most single people are gonna have a longing for a partner. But if you're depressed, your partner's not gonna heal that.
No.
And if you're unhappy with your life, your partner's also not gonna heal that, and neither will kids, and neither will money, you know? Something else. You need to find your fulfillment in whatever way it is. You need to have your own source of joy, and then you can share it with your partner. But you don't need them like you need air.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a lot of pressure on one
I
person.
like that. I mean, because like whatever people think, oh, this is going to put me on autopilot, and I can be on autopilot and be happy, right? You know what I mean? So once you get there, like people who were poor and they became rich and they found out, oh, that's not the answer. I'm still here. I am. Or you get the relationship and it goes past the 2-year phase, and now your problems come back in your face again. They never went anywhere. Like you said, they cloaked it.
Mm-hmm. It will cloak it. It will definitely cloak it for a little while.
It'll just, make you not think about it but then eventually there you are again, unresolved issues, And so you're right. We have to find that thing. And I think I'm pretty fulfilled that's why I think I'm ready, because I am fulfilled. I can be alone. If I was to be alone, I don't get depressed. I'm happy, but this would make it way better. Having somebody really committed, that would be way better. But, I find everybody's saying it's hard to find, you know what I mean? A lot of people are, wondering what's happening. Why can't I find anybody?
Everybody's saying men or women too. So
yeah. I mean,
Men are.
wait, so are you going to go to church tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You said you started off strong and then you went right to undecided. So I don't know which one. You said, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like, oh God.
It's like, what have I done?
No, yeah.
No, there's a lot going on.
He's doing it.
I'm working it. I'm asking God to work it. No, but yeah. It's just so busy right now. It's crazy, but I got deadlines.
Stop, dude. I know you well enough. You can
No.
you can go to church and go to work, and you that's so.
No.
Let's take the work out of it. That's
Yeah.
not a legitimate thing that's going to stop.
It's just that I enjoy sleeping late. Let's just say that is the demon. That is the demon.
Find a church that starts at 11.
Yeah, it's 9:30 and 11.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because if I can do the 11, I could do that.
Yeah,
You know.
it's not long either.
So it's the 11 o'clock. Yeah. So I think so. I mean, yeah.
Do it. Do it. All in.
I hope so, man. I think it's only good things will come from it.
You're right.
You know,
You're right.
and sometimes we got to make that uncomfortable leap, and it's going to be awkward. Trust me, it's going to be awkward. The whole
I guess.
walk, the parking, the seeing all the white people. You're like, oh god. Again, I'm going to be the only black person around. But actually, there's a few black people at the Life Family, which is nice. But it just is what it is.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean? This is what
for
it is.
sure. Keep calling me out on it. I mean, I used to get like bothered by that, but now that I'm believing in God, I'm saying this is how God works through, pressuring me, making me define what I'm going to prioritize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we all need, so thank you both.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Keep it up. Press me every time.
Yeah, we want to hear. I can't go tomorrow. I would go because we found a cool church. I really like the pastor. He's pretty awesome.
No, he's pretty awesome.
But I'm flying to DC tomorrow
Oh, for what?
to film a rally.
Mm.
Yes, at the on the steps of the Supreme Court.
I hope you're safe.
I put it in God's hands.
There it is.
So, would you date yourself? Would you marry yourself?
I would. I actually did marry myself.
There's
I
the
had
problem.
a little marriage ceremony. Well, then I divorced
We were
myself.
talking about
'Cause I was like, wait, maybe I'm not.
That's a new thing.
I'm not putting out a single vibe if I'm married to myself. But yeah, I see myself and I'm like, she's amazing. I want to be her best friend.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that's a healthy attitude. Yeah. What about you, Ron? Would you marry yourself? Like if you were a woman, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I know like what I've gone through, and I became a good person through trial and error and follow the truth. Yeah, I'm a catch. I do think I'm a catch. When you inspire me and you're my equivalent, there it is. But you got to be my equivalent. You got to understand. I don't know what you got to understand,
Oh dear.
but I do know, you got to have a lot of integrity and understand commitment and the stages of commitment and all the realities of it and because I always believe my fear is you're not going to be as serious as I am. Even before I became a Christian, it was like, I take commitment seriously. So either we're having fun or it's committed. There's no black.
God, I hope you can have fun in a committed relationship.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what to me is anytime I'm in a committed relationship, I'm at my best because she's committed to me.
So your fear is you won't be able to find a woman who understands commitment?
Yeah, I think in the new world, like, people get bored, people lose interest. They'll say, hey, we grew apart. There's many ways to say something, but for whatever reason, till death do us part is committed. And that's more serious. And hey, okay, you tried, but I got to go. And that's happening way too often. So I can't believe in it. And I know how hard it is to commit. I already got it easily in the beginning. This woman would have committed to me. Her parents stayed together. She loved her father. And I didn't know what to do with it. I was scared. I wasn't ready for it.
But there's obviously other women who understand commitment.
Oh, for sure. That's why I say now, I got to go to the places where these women are serious, and at the church and people who want a commitment of a higher level of morality. And even though it's impossible, they still strive for it. That's how they measure themselves, through right and wrong. And then I think we can do something. But anything else, we can make up the rules. We can tap out. We can exit route. It's too easy. So it's hard, And I think, too, everybody's moving like that, and they don't realize that's why we can't get together, because everybody doesn't trust, that somebody's going to go all the way, So I don't know what to make of it, but, I know that there's the real ones out there because I'm out there, you're out there, serious people that want commitment, want good, and so you got to go now. I have to know where to go because I can't be wandering around dealing with worldly people, chasing my tail in the devil's playpen. You know what I mean? So
What was that look for?
It's just
She said worldly people. I know she says this.
sad outlook on the world.
What do you mean? Why? Elaborate,
It
please.
is the devil's playground with worldly people.
You don't think Earth is the devil's playground?
No, I think this is a paradise if you want it to be. This is the most incredible, beautiful, abundant planet with all of the most amazing things in the universe.
It is, but at the same time, there's always war. There's always oppression.
Oh,
There's
that's
always
so true.
slavery. There's always molestation, violence, hatred. Like to me, so we're both new to reading the Bible, right? And I used to think that this Earth is what you make of it. You be positive, and there's truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, very, very difficult world to be human in,
It is.
and to be happy and to be healthy, because I do think there's a devil. There's evil that exists. There's an energy that
Undermines.
goal is to undermine us and really destroy us and create chaos and havoc, death and destruction. And that's just that to me, it seems to be what's going on. That's why, like, dude, we have so much energy and money. Everybody can be wealthy. They could be like, everybody can be wealthy, well educated, fed, housed, everything you want. We have the capability of doing that like 1,000 times over. Why is it not happening? Because that's not what's going on. There seems to be, we got free will. We have, call it what you want, but evil exists. Anybody who's sane will realize that. There's this war going on in Ukraine. Like, why? And we're funding it, and we have it's crazy. It's crazy that we still have war.
Yeah, it is.
Well, who wants war? You know?
And why do we have war?
So I think it's good for people to realize what is really going on in the world. And guess what? Life is hard. Like, life is really, really hard. So if you're struggling, don't beat yourself up. It's not meant to be easy.
It was not meant to be easy.
It ain't easy for anybody, even if you have the best parents and $1 billion. It's still gonna be a big, big, hard, long struggle. So, and once you grasp that, to me, then it's better, because now you're willing to put in the work. Now you go, oh, things aren't just going to be handed to me and I'm going to be super talented and good at everything I try to do and everybody's going to love me. No, you have to work for everything that has true value, and every step of the way, every day. It's like you get it and then you're good for a long time. No, tomorrow, you might get it all, and then tomorrow you just make one mistake and everything's trash. And now, that's the nature of reality. So it's like, I think it's important to just to have that perspective, so you're willing to, like, be consistent, put in the work, and then not beat yourself up when you fail. Because like you said, we're aiming for perfection. It's pretty much impossible, it seems like to me.
But aiming for what I think is a divine morality that's better than anything I could have ever thought of. And I was like, well, at least I'm aiming for it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're aiming for it honestly, I think it's going to make the best people. Worldly, I just say worldly because like I said, me and Micah were pretty moral people. We got to morality and being fair and all that without the Bible, but it was just like another level of putting you in check, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's a lot harder than my standard. You know what I mean? And so that's why I could say, yeah, I was resisting my whole life. And now it's like, yeah, that's better than anything I'm seeing. Nothing's holding me. No religion is holding people to a standard.
When he says worldly, how would you define worldly? How do you interpret that?
People of the world.
And there's good people.
Elaborate.
Who
Elaborate.
are
Everybody's up
intelligent and educated and traveled.
as opposed to
People who are not educated, or
So you think that he wants to be the people that are not educated?
it's just a different understanding of the word worldly.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get you to define. Like, when he says it, what do you think he means when he's saying worldly? Like the worldly people.
Other people who don't go to your church.
Okay, that's good. But what I mean is, like, you can be rich, you can be this or that, but there's a level of morality that I'm looking up to outside of what you do, how successful or unsuccessful you are. That morality that the Bible holds everybody to is what I mean. Either you believe it or you don't, and you still can be a pretty amazing person, mind you.
Yes, I think everyone has
Yeah.
the divine within them.
So you're saying a worldly person. So give me an example. Like, define a worldly person and define a What do you call a non-worldly person?
The person that believes in the standards of the Bible.
Okay, so like a Christian, a basic Christian.
Basically a Christian.
So okay, so there's Christians and then there's worldly people, basically.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because
Okay.
everything else is like either you're married and there's everything else. Because a lot of good stuff can come out of it, but
There's polyamory, there's singleness, there's
all those could be
sex
successful.
workers.
Who knows if they can, right? People meet and
But then you have Christians, it's marriage.
yeah, it's marriage. It's a standard.
Okay. Yeah. It's a standard of marriage.
And that's what I'm holding. That's how I'm measuring myself. So
Okay.
if you do it, you probably could, like, I think we were pretty close. I mean, like me and you, because I think we both are pretty moral people and we don't like to lie and we don't like a lot of things that agree with the Bible. But I think there's some key things that I thought were okay and I was doing that's not okay. And what God, now I'm beginning to realize what God says don't touch, and I touch it, and it can go into lead into.
Are you talking about your penis? No,
when I masturbate, my body takes so long to rebuild that again. And I don't know how that affects my person. No, but anyway, but I'm just saying the things that don't touch lead to more flourishing, more control to me. I don't know, it just seems higher than my morality that I got in a worldly way. And like I said, I think I was a pretty darn good person, still do. I mean, but now the Bible's like, oh, you're asking me to do that? That's why I ran from you my whole life.
What is the Bible asking you to do? I don't.
Yeah, define it.
Anything.
Give me specific examples.
Greed. Basically, all the tenets. If you start to even entertain envy or greed or pride, it leads to negative things that will cause you problems, or being too promiscuous, or being even now, today, it's like the woman's body is so sacred and she's showing it so easily. And I think that's a problem, just a basic thing like that. It's just
like allowing yourself to look at porn or naked women.
Yes.
Is something that, as a Christian, is not allowed, really.
Or looking at and masturbating to porn. Why not deal with the real woman? Why can't you, it's just leads to bad things and bad habits that lead you farther away from what you're looking for.
From what you're truly looking for.
Masturbating and watching porn is not going to get a committed Christian woman.
When I go like this, I mean, be aware of your piece, because you're popping a lot.
So, so everything so I'm just studying what he says stay away from. And I realize I've lived long enough now to know when I do that doesn't get me to my goals. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't, envy, greed, lying, all that stuff. I've done it all and it leads nowhere. So I go, wow, you told me not to touch it. Now I'm not going to touch. I'm going to do my best to not touch what you say not touch and see what happens. So that's where I'm at.
What do you think of that?
How do you not touch greed and envy? And how do you notice when you're having that experience? And what would the Bible tell you to process those emotions so that you're not going down those roads?
Like, say, for instance, I was envious of somebody. Now I'm going to try to, it's forcing me to be more self-aware and hold myself accountable. So if I'm envious of Micah, he gets so many packages. Now I'm going to maybe move his package. And then maybe one day he finds out. Now we have a problem. And now that problem becomes maybe physical. Who knows? You know what I mean? It goes out, it goes away. So if I say, hey, let me be happy for Micah. He's getting a lot of, and be happy and learn, why not be happy for Micah instead of envious? He's teaching me how to, whatever the case, you look at your envy. Or if you are lustful and you have sex with a woman, and you don't really want much to do after the sex, but you lusted after her. Now she's feeling some type of way. Now she feels bad. Maybe she starts rumors about you. On and on it goes. It's just things. Or if you go through God's way and meet a woman, have a long courtship, we learn, and we get married. And I don't know, it just seems like there is a right and wrong that he's teaching me that I was resistant to my whole life. And I'm still exploring it with good faith. You know what I mean? Because I think it does lead to better things. So.
What do you think of that?
How are you going to not feel envy? Do you think you can just be like, I decide I'm going to be happy that he has these things that I want, and then it's done?
Well, no, actually, that was one of before I even looked at the Bible, I was envious of people early on. And then one day I just said, you know what, I'm going to be actually happy for people when good things are happening for, because I believe good things can happen for me. You know what I mean? And so my life started changing. Like, you start to realize, and so whatever I was led to kind of aligns with the Bible. I just didn't know it. What I was moving toward without God was pretty much in alignment with the Bible. But the Bible just has more.
Because God was always with you.
I want to talk about that. So when you are feeling things like envy or whatever, there are ways you can deal with it. One is, do not allow yourself to indulge in these thoughts. So say you do notice you're envious, and the old you would just be like thinking about it. You just think about it and think about it. That's a problem, right? Now you're indulging in this thought process. It's only going to lead to more negativity and things. So one thing you can do is just like not allow yourself to think about it. And that's not easy to do if you're like, I'm not going to think about it. No. You just have to start thinking about something else, right? And another thing you can do, and this works for a lot of different situations that are like when you have a mindset or a feeling that's just negative, or you're in a flow and you're like, oh my gosh, you're thinking about something too much. You can't stop indulging in some thought process. You can do what I learned from Abraham Chandler, the rampage of appreciation, which is just start giving thanks. And if you can give thanks for things for at least 20, 30 seconds, then it's going to like switch up your thing, So it might sound like just anything. Like, thank you for my car. Thank you for the good weather today. Thank you for paved roads. Thank you for this book. Thank you for YouTube. Thank you for my job. Thank you for my bed. Thank you that I don't have to go to work today, right? You just do that. Just thank you for all this stuff. And then it'll take you away. Or like you said, or you can just be like, choose. You know what? I'm going to choose to be happy for them. And just say it. I'm happy that you get these packages. I'm happy that you have this now. Congratulations on being rich and good looking and having everything handled to you on a fucking Sunday card. You didn't do a damn thing.
Right. I do think it's that if you see someone having something you want, it is showing you that it is available for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been saying that a lot. If she can have that, I can have that. If they can have that, I can have that.
Yeah. And so if you say, yeah, congratulations on doing that. I think that's where you're telling the universe, yeah, I'm open to receiving that as well. And when you're envious, you're telling the universe, that's bad and I'm never going to get it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And same with pride. I mean, one of the biggest ones, having pride, thinking you're better than people, this and that, just leads to people not wanting to be around you, really. You know what I mean? If you get too out of control with it. Because people feel that. They feel like, oh, you think you're better, or wherever pride can lead. It's not a good thing. It's always better to stay humble. Like you said, appreciative, thanking every day, my eyesight, my health. I'm not up today. I have energy. Oh, I got a cut. I heal. Thank you.
Truly, your eyesight is worth more than all the money in the world. So, you know what I mean? And every part of your body can be in pain. So give thanks when it's not. You know what I mean? Like, we have so much to be thankful every day. And that's the thing about being worldly, like putting your goals in worldly goals is dangerous, because all the worldly achievements really mean nothing to the things you already have. Like I said, like eyesight or taste, smell, the ability to move. These are worth more than all the money in the world. And most of us have them. And still we're putting all our, love into money and fame and respect and all these worldly goals, which is nothing wrong with them as long as you don't worship them, which is one thing I like about the Bible. One thing that, it's like, don't have false idols. So don't worship these things. They're fine. But until you worship them, as soon as you start worshiping these things, that's how the devil gets a hold of you and can tweak you and take away your integrity and your soul. And then you become basically an evil person.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Let's go, because I remember like last week we wanted to talk about you wanting to be famous.
I do. I think I can influence more people in a positive way with a larger audience.
So you really want to influence people more than, do you want to be, would you rather be famous or influential?
Influential.
So you'd rather be the producer that nobody knows their name behind the biggest show in the world, or the star who doesn't
He's going to bring you into
or the star who doesn't really write the script or anything. It's just a face. But everybody thinks that she does it and they love her, and everywhere she goes, she gets all that love. Or the producer behind the scenes who nobody knows about, but she's the real force. And if she left the show, the show would go down.
Yeah.
Who would you rather be? Be careful because God is listening.
I do desire fame.
Which do you prefer more, fame or influence?
It might be more fun to be influential.
So you desire
To
fun.
be the one who's
So it's the fun
creating.
that you
I
desire.
do desire fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the most. You say you only get one. That is the biggest one. Influence. Now fun is in the. You're gonna be. You know, the most fun. You know, the most fame or the most influence. Which do you choose? Which door will you walk through?
We're basically trying to understand your relationship to attention.
I want the most fun.
So you'd rather have more fun than influence.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think maybe I've come to the planet to have as much fun as possible.
Well, the devil has a lot of fun.
But it's short
I'm
lived.
not friends with him, so I don't know.
But no, that would be the thing he'd be telling, voicing.
That's
Have
his
fun.
allure.
Do
It's
what feels
fun.
the
Do
best.
drugs. Have the sex. Eat the candy. Live a little bit. Eat this. Do that. Drink that. That's the whole allure of fun.
Oh,
And it is fun.
Fun is worldly. What about godly fun? Doesn't God want you to have fun? Isn't God a fun guy?
I would say,
I would use the word fun. Joy.
That bothered
Okay.
me. I have to admit that listening to the guy that we like, his sermon, when he said that sex was only for procreation.
No, he was saying.
I know, but he was saying what I heard was that's not what's priority in a relationship. It's a sweet part of it, and it shouldn't be overused. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
what he was saying. Yeah.
Because when you're young,
He was making fun of himself because that's what he told his daughter. But he's like, that's not what I should have told her.
exactly. But I mean, yeah, but I like that because that's a lie that I believe that the devil says, because good relationships are about duty, sometimes doing things you don't want to do, but chasing fun is what we all want to hear.
I want to look up fun.
We all want to hear that, and I
Is
believe
being in joy and having a good time.
sometimes fun, like say for instance, working out.
A psychopath has fun killing. I'm just saying, right? But if a psychopath does not necessarily have joy, you know what I mean?
If I want to have fun, now I'm a psychopath?
No, I'm just saying. But fun is this
Balance.
It's a well. Let's look it up. Maybe I'm using the word wrong.
But I'm just saying, like things like, because what I think the Bible and a good way of living is having the marriage, kids, health, more friends, better community, things that will last over time instead of the short-lived, non-committal. Go ahead, Nick.
Okay, so yeah, fun, amusement, right? Enjoyment and amusement. That's fun, right? So if you just want to live life to be amused, I'm not judging it, but I don't really believe.
So if
you.
you're
I
in
don't
a
think that's-
meditative state and you are deeply connected with the divine, with God, that
What's that sound? Oh.
Huh. Interesting.
That's why you don't sleep near it.
Yeah.
Now I won't. Just changed my life.
Thank you, God.
And you're in that connected divine state of, maybe it's a flow state when you're making music or you're making art. I would also describe that as fun.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
if that's
fun
accurate.
to be in flow. It's fun to be connected with God.
Yeah, but
Oh, but do you chase it, or
I don't know. I don't like that. That doesn't really resonate with me. No one's gonna be like, oh, I meditate because it's so fun. You know what I mean? You don't go meditate for fun.
You jump out of a plane for fun.
Yeah, you drink alcohol for fun. You have casual sex for fun.
I don't think any of those
you
things
go to a
feel
comedy
good,
for
though.
fun. That's the thing. Fun is shallow. Fun, if your pursuit is fun, you're not gonna get what you really want. Fun is fleeting. Fun is ever. You always got to be. Life is not fun all the time. But joy comes from other things, like fulfillment. Is not. You get fulfillment from doing hard tasks. Then you get, and that's long lasting fulfillment. Joy. Fun is like a peak. It's like a peak moment, peak sensation. Orgasms are fun, but you know what I mean. But like the whole process is not always fun, but the whole process is beautiful. It's life. Life is not. If your whole thing is fun, I think that you're gonna be running circles. That's what I think. I can be wrong. I definitely don't. I'm not living. I'm not a master.
I just want to say this too, because you said that you had to give an email to somebody that you didn't want to do it, but it was necessary to be done, right?
Yeah.
And it probably is going to benefit you and them, right? That it was said.
Yeah.
So that wasn't fun, but it was necessary,
Yeah.
which will bring future joy. not temporary fun,
And peace.
and peace, because now that's over with.
Yeah.
So what I get the lure of chasing fun, but maybe you don't even think that way. You just don't know, like you're saying it, but like obviously we know working out isn't always fun, but when you're ripped up and you're walking around and people are attracted to you, that's the joy you get from it.
And you have energy for life. Right? Like fun usually takes your energy. Right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like working out gives you energy, gives you clarity, gives you clear thinking, gives you, good vibes, gives you like just healthy feelings. So I don't really believe that's what you want, really. I don't think you really want. I think if I would see like you want influence, maybe. Mm-hmm. But all right, so let's ask you again.
Okay. I choose influence.
But what about fame? Why do you want? Because you said fame first. First you want to be rich, but then he was like, then it seems like you want fame to have influence. Or do you want fame?
Because when I grew up, my parents didn't pay attention to me, and so I want attention.
Okay.
So I want the world to show me that I'm valuable and I'm loved.
There it is.
Okay,
Thank you for that. That we can get somewhere.
Well, you are valuable. Here's what I like about Christianity too, is like you don't have to do anything. The fact that you exist is enough. You've done everything. You don't get to heaven through your works. That's what they say. It's like, you don't have to go do all this amazing stuff. Like, no, go be a homeless dude on the street. You're fine. But I think that's the truth. Yeah. We don't actually have to do anything. We don't have to do all these great works to be, because the world tells you do. You got to accomplish this and accomplish that. And there's nothing wrong with these accomplishments, but that's not what the Bible says or, what life says. Just the fact that we exist is a miracle, And you do exist. We all exist. We've done it. We've like achieved it. We've achieved.
I exist.
Done.
Yeah, for real.
Well done for existing, guys.
Exactly. It's true. Like we're still alive. Like wow, and we're not in jail. We're not. We're not like hideous, evil beings. So that's enough. So now we can just live with without this constant. I don't know. Nagging thing that we need to be more, do more. No, it's not like we are enough, That's what I think, at least.
I think we're here to align with, more, be in that energy, like what to align with synergistically, what seems right, kind of moving toward it. But it's not always the easy path. But, what I think happiness is good, but joy is like long term.
Yeah, and fulfillment. Is wonderful.
Fulfillment leads to joy.
Yeah,
and joy.
Yeah, I would say fulfillment, joy.
Joy is deep.
Closely related. So,
yeah, and we've got that in our endeavors. Like I'm sure you did some endeavors, and you went deeper, and you got a lot of joy out of the process. It wasn't always fun, but now you're there. You understand it. You have joy. And peace because you went through the process. So I think like that's what life is really about. It's about a process. So when I think of getting married, I know it's going to be challenging, but I think having the opposite complementary part to what I am and having to go through that process tempers my spirit and keeps me in check. A good woman will keep you in check without straying off into the dark or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Keeps her, she has a stable rock and we're here, aligning, and just the process and somebody going through that with you. But either you get it or you don't. Either you understand what it is or you don't, because then you'll have these, like most people's relationships these days are, you're hanging out with for 3-4 months, having fun, and then you never see them again, and then repeat. Like, when does it ever lock down and you go, the distance? Because even now, like most people, I was listening to the statistic, most people haven't been in a relationship. They could be 40 past 2 years. You've been through a 5, I've been through a 7, but you haven't been past a 2, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So, and now you're getting it, you understand what it is, you know what I mean? And it's slowly.
Well, I shifted when I decided to believe in marriage. You know what I mean? As soon as I I think being intentional with wanting marriage was what changed the way I walked the earth.
Attracted a different sort of person.
Yeah. Yes. Because I all of a sudden I was looking for different things, and all of a sudden I'm not attracted. I'm not open to certain situations. And now certain environments are not even appealing, because when you're looking for a girlfriend as a male in the world, any kind of social gathering is exciting because you might go meet a temporary girlfriend, and sex is like, let's be real, it's amazing. Sex is amazing. So if you're looking for a girlfriend,
it's so much better in a long-term relationship.
Oh my gosh, I know, yeah. But I never really believed in it. I thought it was another scam. There's so many lies on the earth. I thought that was just
Marriage
another.
was a scam.
Yeah, Yeah, personally, I thought like why? I didn't know. I didn't see many that were really good, and
Yeah.
I didn't. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many lies. I thought that was just another lie out there. But
There's so many lies.
once I met a couple Christian women who made me think that, oh, I just felt that I was like, I can marry you. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Christian women make me feel like I can marry them. You know, it was two. I met two, and I'm seeing one of them now. But yeah, that was a switch. And then it didn't work out for a while, but I was shifted. And then, yeah, now like going out was not appealing. No party was really appealing. Because you're not gonna. It's almost like it's weird too. When you're looking for a girlfriend, you can find them anywhere. And when you're looking for a wife, it's like you can't find her anywhere.
Keep looking.
So then it means okay, let me just work on myself.
Yeah.
Maybe let me become the husband that she will recognize, and I will recognize her. And then, then there's this kind of like you have to have faith. Shape yourself to be that person. What does your room look like? If your wife walked in, is she gonna be happy with your room right now? Is she gonna be happy with your car? Is she gonna be happy with what you're doing right now? Live like that. Live like you have that person, and I think that's what will attract them because your life patterns will change, and you will be where she's at.
Yeah.
I think.
No, that's good because I think like 2 years is probably the time when you want to go further with somebody or you want to back off, right? So that's basically like everybody's jumping from honeymoon phase to honeymoon phase in relationships where it's easy and there's I think the 2 year mark is when you start seeing their patterns, start knowing who they are. Do you want to deal with it? On and on it goes. Like what I learned in the 7 year, and this was in my 20s, from late 21 to 28, late 28. So it's about 6.5, 7 years. And it taught me like what I didn't understand. We were just deeply into each other, so we loved it. We, nobody cheated or anything, but there'll be times when I learned like this is probably what like a 20-year marriage is. Like there'll be times that I'm sick of her, man. I just want to be done with her. Then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I have somebody. So I'm like going through this whole ups and downs. I'm this and that. But what I didn't know is how to be a leader. And so when the moment came and her father liked me, her brothers liked me, and they said, get married. I never saw a healthy relationship. My mom didn't have it. So I ran. I was scared. I wasn't going to live up to it. To be a leader for a man, he's got to be kind of taught that a little bit. You know what I mean? Seek it out and all that stuff. So no man's just a leader. He's got to be taught that, and understand what a woman responds to, not what she wants or thinks she wants, what she actually responds to. You know what I mean? And sometimes, anyway, so that's what I learned. And now that 7 years is going to probably help me in this because at least I went through it, living day to day with a woman.
Yeah, you recognize the ups and downs that you can get through it.
Yeah. So.
And relationships are always going to trigger all your stuff.
Yeah.
So start working now on it.
Kill everything you can so your relationship can be smoother.
Yes. And I think there's a mindset too. Like that's why I like, there is some truth to roles and just understand what they are. They're not rigid, but they're there and they've been tried and true proven. It's better to do that. Understand what a man's looking for that keeps him focused on you and what he has to do. Be a leader, be assertive, be protective, and think of himself like both parties. Like we said the last time, I can imagine now it's like thinking of your partner. Both of you are thinking of each other more than yourself. And that makes it deep. You know what I mean? And that's what I want. I want to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That idea of you're putting your partner's needs above yours and they're doing the same. Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. That's how it works.
That's probably the only way it works.
And it feels good when you're giving to your partner in that way.
Absolutely.
If you're giving to them because you're expecting something in return, it's going to be really ugly.
And like you got to find that, like I recommend, like not that I'm the expert, but I feel like I'm in a partnership right now that has potential, and one of the reasons is because I like her so much. You know what I mean? Aww. Because just who she is. So you can't settle. Like it better be sparks. You better love so much about them. Like not that they're gonna be perfect, right? Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But you just make sure you are really, truly excited about being with this person. If you're not,
you're okay with all things that are red flags. that you know
No.
they're going to be there.
Pink flags. There should be no red flags. No. There should be no red flag. A red flag is that's
That's leave.
that's a you only get like 2 red flags and then it's over. So pink flags,
Okay.
white flags with little
Are
dots
you
on
willing
them.
to accept their quirks
Their imperfections,
and their
yes.
imperfections? Yeah.
But you gotta love like so much about them, and their values, their deep seated values, because it is gonna be hard, like you said. Like your perfect soulmate is still gonna be a big like life is hard, like we were saying.
Still human.
Even your perfect mate is gonna be a big old pain in your ass.
And you're gonna get tired of
Big
them.
pain.
You're gonna get sick of them, but then it comes and goes. You got to trust that you're gonna love them again.
Yeah.
And the gratitude thing, right? As long as you are appreciating things about them, the easier it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you leave your underwear on the living room floor or
With a skid
whatever.
mark on
I
it.
love
Yeah, you love all these other things about them. Yeah.
about you.
So just make sure that you're going for that person. Like you said, that guy. Like I liked how you said, you like all the stuff about him, but you don't have the spark. So that's a dead in the water. Don't
Just need
force
to
yourself. I think
tell
women
him.
sometimes people do it, but I think women maybe they can do it easier. Sometimes they can be with someone because he fits the map and he can provide for them, even though it's not that spark or whatever. Like I would highly recommend against that. Find the person that hits all your checks. That's the
I would
person.
say- I would
Someone
say
who
this,
has all
marry
those things, and I want to jump on him.
Yes.
I would
yes.
say this. Well, okay, you're right, but I like it to put because when I look at past some relationships, I realize how much if I chose to commit and prioritize making this work to the best of my ability, instead of hey, okay, we meet this and just keep it all loosey goosey, instead of coming at it a certain way. Because I think I don't know what it is. Like I understand knocking it out of the ballpark, and
Well, I don't understand what your angle is.
okay, I'm just saying, like, we talked about it. It was like, you meet this person, you talk to them for a while. Are they enough? I don't know what enough is for any one of you, or, all I know is what is enough. Now we can, okay, there's enough. And then there's, of course, the perfect person.
No,
I mean,
there's no
I'm
perfect person.
trying to flesh it out.
Okay.
The imaginary person. in
I
your
would
head.
say having genuine attraction has to, somewhat be there. But now I realize as time goes on, what is enough? I don't know.
I don't think it should be just enough, right? I think it should be more than enough. Like, because she's enough. I mean, it's a weird balance, right? Because you just don't want to settle. Like, it's going to be hard, and you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle. So she needs to be, if she's enough, she needs to be enough in all the areas. You have similar values. She has enough of the similar values. She has enough of the body that you want. She has enough of the personality.
Yes.
She has enough of, the integrity. Like, enough is not easy. Like, she needs to be enough in every area. Not like, she's just barely enough in this area. In this area, she's not. It's like, you need to be excited. You need to be like,
yes,
like, wow. I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with this woman. If it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so attracted to her body, to her mind, to her soul, to her values, to her integrity. I think that's what you need to aim for. And if it's not that, keep looking, because you're doing your both of yourselves an injustice if you settle for anything less than that, because you can't find it. But you got to get on your game. You ain't gonna, you know what I mean? So instead of going out in the world looking too much, right? I think go to, like, be out a little bit at least, but put yourself in that, like, be the best version of yourself, and then you will get your best version of your partner.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I mean, I didn't know what to make of it, because I see some people waiting too long for something that they're not going to get. So
because they haven't become the best version of themselves.
Yeah,
Right. That's like the overweight person wanting, like, the skinny, beautiful person. It's like, you're not going to get the skinny, beautiful person while you're walking around the world eating too much.
Yeah. Like, I'm just thinking, like, the delusion is running. So, like, somehow I'm just saying, know what you are, be
the best version of
yourself,
what you are. Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
Constantly. That's what you're striving for, as going out in a balanced way.
Because think about it too. Marriage is hard. And if you're not, if you don't have the strength to get yourself into shape and to, like, get a good job and to have a clean room, like, then you ain't gonna be good enough to have a marriage. Your marriage will suck.
Yeah.
Even if you get the perfect partner, you will ruin it.
Right.
So God, you're not gonna get it. So you have to do those things to get that life, and then you can, maintain a happy marriage.
Yeah, that's what I think what God would give to you. Like, he's saying, get your act together, get your money up, get your body up, get your...
Yeah. Instead of settling, right? Instead of being, like, overweight, working at a job you don't love, having a messy car and a messy room and a messy house and a neighborhood you don't like, and then settling for someone who also is a bit overweight and has a messy car and you know what I mean? It's like, she's enough. So we can go have a mediocre life. No. I don't recommend that. That's like that's not what we want. That's not what you want. That's not what we be the best version of yourself, and then you will attract that person
you're
that you are truly. If you're not okay, here's what I'm saying. If you're not truly excited about your partner, then it's the wrong partner. And if you can't find someone you're truly excited about, it's because you are not truly excited about your own life because you're not living up to your potential. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. And don't wait to go looking for that person until you're perfect.
Exactly.
Oh,
yes.
for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't think you're not enough.
True.
You are enough.
Yeah. To start moving, because as long as you're moving in that direction, that is enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find someone else who's moving in that direction, that's great too, because you will get there eventually if you keep moving. But if you're not moving in that direction, you might just stay there forever.
Yeah.
So the very minimum requirement is move in towards the direction, and that's the minimum requirement for our
And
partners.
as you're moving, be getting a better version of yourself, constantly
Yes.
in the direction. Everything going into the right direction.
Right. And you want to know you have aligned goals and values so that you can get better on that path together, supporting one another.
And that's where Christianity and church is helpful, because it kind of sets the goals. A lot of the values and goals are similar.
It's the values. Like I need to know what you value. And if we value a lot of the same things, yeah. Because I don't think we can really build anything. It might be temporary fun, but that's going to hit. That's going to hit at some point.
That's my number one question on a date. What are your top 5 values?
Oh, wow. Okay.
But people can say what they want, but you have to get to know them.
Hopefully they're honest. Yeah.
They could try to be honest too, but like you know them by their fruits. So hear what they say, but that doesn't really mean all that much. You have to like get to know them. There's probably like some follow-up questions like, oh, okay, so what are the 5 things you spend the most money on? Here's a list of values.
I like that question. I like that a lot.
And then time, and then what do you spend the most time on? Those are where you see the real values.
Yeah.
If you're playing video games and watching movies every day for hours, like, but they're talking about, so.
Good stuff. Yeah.
All right. So let's end this one on let's end this one on a statement that someone made that said, a marriage is like a hierarchy.
No, that was so funny too, because I was like, because he made me realize like what it was taken as is men are better than women. And in the book, you crazy? Nobody's better than anybody. That didn't even enter. But it's being aware of how things come across. And we were both pointing out, like, could you imagine out in the world when people are interacting, they're saying something that is not what their intent was. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of problem that it's going on out there. You know what I mean? So getting more precise with your words and understanding, you know what I mean, is important. It does mean something.
Yeah.
Because somebody, wow, you think I thought men are better than women? That's insanity. But yeah, so just wanted to say that.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been wonderful.
Oh, it has.
Then we talked about some things.
Deep. It was deep. I liked it.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, till the next time.
There it is.
Ciao.